Hey humans, so coins are obviously a very important resource in Duet Night Abyss because you just frankly need them for everything, whether you're leveling up a character and especially for when you're crafting your weapons, which can get extremely pricey, which has oftentimes led people to try and seek out the best methods to farm coins in the game. Obviously, excavation being generally not that great, but one of the only options for lower level people. Chase obviously being an alright option, and the best, of course, being the Mystic Maze. However, there is a passive method that you are always going to be gaining a source of coins no matter what you are doing well. Ironically, only while you're outside of the Mystic Maze and Immersive Theater. And that, of course, is going to be through these enemy drops in the inventory. Now, if you've been playing the game for a while, you probably have stockpiled a large sum of these. The blues and purples are going to be the largest amounts in per an individual sale, but the greens will stack up a lot. And what's more than this is that you hardly are going to need these materials at all. Even if you are constantly crafting weapons, you are only going to need a handful of these whenever you're crafting the coolants, weapon holders, repulsive crystals, or gold sands. And they are hardly used anywhere else, so you likely have a ton just sitting here in your inventory, regardless of what you are doing. And if we can just go ahead, I mean, I've got a bunch right here, and if I sell just an average amount, taking my total amount down to around 4,000 for these greens right here, and I've already sold a bunch of these, if you couldn't tell by the amount of coins that I had in my inventory. But when it comes to the blues, I'd say if you've got more than 2,000, you can pretty safely sell them, and even down to the 1,000. This is just going to be a quick demonstration of everything that you can get, and just from selling about 1,000 of each blue, you know, obviously a lot of the greens, and if we go to the purples, I haven't even sold any of the purples. So if I go ahead and sell half my purples, and none of these actually are used in any crafting recipe whatsoever currently in the game, take that how you will, but personally I kind of feel like they could be useful in the future, so I've kind of hesitated against selling them just yet, just in case, because I'm careful like that. But when it comes to the blues and greens, we obviously don't really have to care. And just from selling all of this stuff right here, I'm gonna have another 1.5 million gold. So taking a quick look at my money, you can see right here, I've got close to 6 million. And I'm still crafting weapons and getting smelts, as well as crafting more wedges and still making progress in my account. I'm gonna let you know that I have not farmed any Mystic Maze or any Chase for like a solid 4 days. And what I've been doing instead is just secret letters, demon wedges, and everything else that I need, the Ludo mementos as well. So I've actually gone ahead and done all of the math. I've aggregated a whole lot of screenshots when it comes to the enemy drops across different activities. I've done it for exploration. I've done it for the defense missions, for the demon wedges. I've even done it for the level 40 exploration on the covert commissions. This is actually a pretty good activity, all things considered, when you're dumping your secret letters, especially because you can do it semi-AFK. So definitely don't sleep on that. But with all of that data that I've been calculating, with the enemy drops that you're receiving, you're able to get somewhere around 2,100 to around 2,500 coins per every clue gained. And of course, this is taking averages, so you are going to have individual completions that you may get more money per clue or less money per clue. But the 2,100 does seem to be a bit on the lower end. And even on that lower end of the money gained per clue, you would be getting around 200k coins per every 100 clues that you gain. That means for just about every single weapon blueprint and demon wedge you craft, you would be earning somewhere around 2,000 coins or more. but not going to be a crazy amount more than that. And of course, if your clue luck is bad, that means you're going to be earning that much more money when you get those clues. Of course, all of these calculations were done with a maxed out Bro Boxy equip, but I've also taken some other activities like the wedge activity and taken some materials from them, and as we can see, the number that I kind of landed on is very consistent across multiple completions, and of course I do have the screenshots, and if you did this testing on your own, you probably would be able to find similar patterns in the amount of coins that you're getting per clue on average. But of course, all of this only matters if you're getting a similar amount of coins per the amount that you're going to be spending. And it really is just going to depend based on what you are chasing after. So for instance, a weapon with the enemy drops in mind when it comes to the crafting of them are going to take about 505,000 coins total to craft a single copy. So considering you're going to be getting around 210 to 250k ish gold every single time that you're going to be getting a weapon blueprint on average. Of course, you could get bad luck on your clues. That means you're going to be getting about half of the gold that you need for a weapon craft just by going for the clues. And of course, because you're going to be getting clues as you're getting the mementos, that is factored into the equation as well and doesn't really create a big difference in the amount of coins gained. But of course, weapons aren't going to be the only thing that you're spending your clues on, because there's also going to be character letters and there are also going to be demon wedges. Now, demon wedges are similarly going to have a coin cost whenever you craft them. It's going to be significantly less. In fact, every single gold wedge is only going to cost 50k coins in order to craft. So that means a plus 10 gold wedge would take about 500,000, and it is going to cost somewhere around 127,000 coins if you want to actually plus 10 that wedge. So that would be somewhere around 620,000 coins. With the fact that you are going to be getting somewhere around 210 to 250,000 coins per every 100 clues, and it's going to take about 1,000 clues if you want to plus 10 that wedge. That means you're going to be earning somewhere around 1,500,000 coins per every single plus 10 demon wedge you craft. And of course, if you are crafting gold demon wedges and not leveling them up, that is going to be even less coins that you're spending. But of course, you're going to want to level them up eventually. So that is going to be something that will help you out a lot, especially as a part of the endgame. So if you are at that point where you are going ahead, you're crafting your gold demon wedges and you're leveling them up, it may be advantageous for you to, instead of farming coins when you're going for some weapon crafts, to pivot to farming some demon wedges for a bit, especially if you're at a point where you have already crafted the majority of the weapons that you want smelted, and to stockpile on some coins by doing that, and then to maybe return to weapon crafting later after you've crafted a lot more of those gold wedges. And funnily enough, I actually started thinking about this grind after I built my DPS Daphne, getting her to I6, as well as leveling up some of the wedges that I was using on her. I went ahead and sold all my materials that I gained from the enemy drops and wound up having a similar amount of gold to what I do right now. So as you can probably tell, it is going to be a very, very comfortable deal. But it gets even better, because when you are getting character introns, you are not spending any coins whatsoever to level up that intron, meaning that every single intron that you go for on a character is going to be pure profit. So with the number that I've been working with on that calculation, we are going to be earning somewhere around 2.5 million or more coins going from I0 to I6 on a unit, which is gonna be a lot, to say it lightly, especially if you are already in this kind of like endgame zone. You've gotten all of your characters and weapons that you have obtained to max ascension. You're kind of just coasting right now. Now, of course, there are going to be some other sources where you're going to be sinking some extra coins outside of places where you're farming for secret letter clues and other materials. And of course, that is going to be with the nocturnal echoes, as well as whenever we get new stuff from the immersive theater. Of course, all those letters you're not farming any clues for whatsoever, and that means you will actually have to go out of your way to get some extra coins for that. If you are before the point where you're at max ascension on everything, that is going to be another sink for those coins. This also isn't going to be the only source of coins that you're gonna have on that monthly basis. We are also getting the Battle Pass, which is going to be getting upgraded in the very next patch. And we're also getting the Fishing Shop, which also gives us 1,000,000 gold every single month. And beyond that, we also have the cheap coins that you get from the Mystic Maze on a weekly basis, alongside the XP books and the Carmine Globules. So if you are at that endgame point, it might be a complete waste to just start dedicated coin farming whenever you have that need. You absolutely need the coins right now. It definitely wouldn't hurt to do a Mystic Maze run for about 1,000,000, because that is only about like 5 minutes or so to do. But considering the sheer amount of secret letter clues we're gonna need to be farming for all of these wedges and all these weapons, the fact that we are getting so many coins from enemy drops is really nice. Now, am I saying that you're never going to have to farm coins again? No, but I am saying that the amount of coins that you're going to have to farm is probably going to be significantly dropping as soon as you get into this kind of like end game threshold, where you're, especially when you're crafting gold demon wedges. But what this also kind of means is that the chase farm that I have so thoroughly loved, especially because with a well-oiled team, I'm just going to go with that. Especially with a well-oiled team, you are going to be getting a comparable amount of rewards compared to the individual farms. But if coins aren't going to be a big factor going forward, it does mean it will start to lag behind the individual farms, because if you're no longer farming the Mystic Maze, then just doing pure escort and defense will be enough for the other materials. Though, of course, if you really don't care for either of these activities, you can still do chase. It's not going to be that much worse of a time loss with a full team. But if you're solo, chase definitely isn't going to be the best way to get these two materials. But that really just about does it for this video. If you're enjoying my coverage of Duet Night Abyss, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a video. I have a Discord server, so if you would like to join up and talk about Duet Night Abyss and hang out with me and other people in the community, be sure to join in using the link in the description down below. But with that all out of the way, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all next time.